always love hip-hop. Keep it flowing like a river, so I drip drop. Verses and bars, we eating dinner with the stars. Excuse me while I float away, my brain is on Mars. Cause it's the Big Kids Podcast with Chris Williams. Sit back, relax, like your spliff, we in the building.
Yo, this is Chris Williams, and welcome back to the Big Kids Podcast. And today, I'm recording on Monday instead of my typical Wednesday, just because I'm going to have a busy week. Holidays coming up. We have the Pokémon V-Box giveaway. Again, with that, guys, we are doing, or I am releasing the video of the drawing, because I don't really know if I can go live or whatever the case may be. We're gonna do the drawing on the 9th. Or no. Sorry. The drawing is on the 10th. But I need all entries in by the 9th. Okay? Now that could be all the way up until midnight of the 10th. Meaning 11:59:59 on the 9th. I need a comment and I need a subscription. If you do that, you get entered into the giveaway. But I'm doing it again, or I'm doing this podcast episode today because it is my dog's birthday, Cesar. I'm sorry if you hear him chewing on his birthday bone in the background. But I thought it was important for me to get on here because I do get emotional, even right now, even thinking about it, when it comes to Cesar, you know, and I guess saying it out loud makes it a little more emotional. I just get emotional because that's, you know, I got him when I was 22 years old. And he was my first step to becoming a grown man and having some responsibility that I did not expect to come on here and start fucking crying. I don't even want to fucking release this. But he was my first step to becoming a grown man and having to worry about taking care of somebody besides myself. And every year that goes by, you know, I get more and more scared that this will be our last birthday together. And you know, he's gotten old on me the past 3 years. He's getting gray in the face. The energy's still there, but I know our best days are probably behind us. And I just, I'm sorry. I swear I didn't expect to come out here and start getting emotional. I just wanted to give him a little shout out. Because he's done more for me than he would ever be able to comprehend. And, shit. I just want to say happy birthday, Cesar. And I hope we get a couple more before it's all said and done. Ooh, okay. Shit. Whew. Yeah, so he's in the back chewing on his bone. I had to put the pups up so they'd leave him alone and give him a couple minutes to enjoy himself, being an old man and all. But yeah, that's my ace. That's my ace in the hole right there. You know, even when I got these puppies, I had to let it be known to him that he's still my number one. I appreciate him again more than he will ever comprehend. And yeah, if you can't tell, that's my guy. And happy birthday, Cesar. Oof. And I think I'm getting all emotional because the other night, I don't know what the hell was going on, but he was throwing up for like 3-4 hours. I don't know what he ate. I don't know what he got into. But I was nervous, and this is like the second time in the past year that some shit like that has happened, and I'm assuming he got into something, because he was fine prior, but he got into something, and he was fucking throwing up, and he looked weak for a couple hours, and then I gave him some Pepto. I went online, and I made sure I could give it to him. It's like 1 tablespoon for like every 10 pounds for a dog, something along those lines. So I gave him some Pepto, and he started to settle down and laid down, and the next morning he was back to himself. But, it reminded me that he's getting old, and I got to cherish the time that I have with him, and I'm glad that I got 8 years out of him, and I'd really enjoy another couple. That's the part that sucks about having a dog, I can see the appeal in the future getting some sort of robotic dog that has has all the mannerisms and stuff like that of dogs. Because then, you can probably have it for a little longer than, 10 or so years. Alright, I gotta get off of this. No one came on here to listen to me sob for 45 minutes. So again, happy birthday, Cesar. I love you, buddy. And looking forward to spending next birthday with you. Alright. Ooh. See, a dog will get you. The dog will fucking get you. Shake it off. Got my nose all stuffy and running and shit now. Oh, man. Yeah, so morning started off pretty shit for me too, which probably doesn't help. I go outside, it's starting to get cold. I had a little crack on my window that is now across the whole entire windshield. So I got to get in touch with insurance and get that taken care of. There was that. And then today is an errand for my job. I go out and run an errand, make sure all the families are in order, and get some paperwork turned in and all that. And I forgot my paperwork at home. So there was that on top of it. Also, going back to the car, I don't know something's going on. Hopefully it's nothing serious. But when I'm driving, it sounds like a goddamn a little airplane's taking off. So something's going on with a wheel bearing, a straw, some shit's going on. I don't know. I got to take it to the shop today for them to drive it so they can hear it for themselves and hopefully diagnose the problem. And I could get that fixed here in the next couple of days, and hopefully it won't screw me too much. Hopefully the price of it getting fixed. Again, when it comes to cars, it costs what it costs. You know what I'm saying? You could go to somebody that's reputable, somebody that's fair, but at the end of the day, it costs what it costs. And that's the part that sucks about a car. A car part, no matter where you fucking get it from, it costs what it costs. So hopefully this isn't too bad of a fix, because I got to get that fixed, and my Mazda, I believe it is a rear tie rod that I need to get fixed on that too. And I'm trying to get all this ironed out before winter starts to hit too hard. And I know I probably talked about this a few weeks ago where I thought I had everything in order, but it's not quite in order. Still a couple more fixes, because I really don't want to have to worry about this stuff during the winter. I want to get it fixed. It sucks that I got to cough up the money, come up with the money for it. But again, it is what it is. I get it taken care of now, or I compound the problem, and then come February, March, I have real problems. So I'm trying to stay ahead of this, because I've been doing this for quite some time. Again, when I started working, yes, my family would help me here and there with the car stuff, but I try to take it upon myself to, when there's something going on with the car, to take care of it myself. I don't if my family's going to offer to help me out, of course I'll take the help that they give me. But I try not to even bother them with that type of stuff, because there are going to be times in life where I'm sure I am going to actually need the help to get stuff done, and I don't want them always thinking that I'm asking them for help or asking them for something. So if I can't take care of a problem by myself, I take care of it by myself, and I think that's just how everybody should do. Because getting help is great, but I don't think you should count on getting help. I don't think you should bank on it or feel entitled to getting help, because nobody has to help you. That's why it's called help. It's not called the obligation. So when you do get help, appreciate it. Be thankful for it. But don't expect it. Don't think that you're entitled to it, because that's the furthest thing from the truth. I don't care if it's your mom, dad, grandparents, uncle. They don't gotta do shit for you if they don't really want to. And that's just the truth of it. 1 second, I gotta answer this text message. I'll be right back, guys. Alright, trying to figure out this windshield situation. But yeah, guys, besides me getting on here and crying for 5 minutes, I swear, guys, I did not expect to get on it, because I wouldn't have done it. I simply just wouldn't have done it. But I try to be authentic with you guys, and I wanted to come on here and get it off my chest that it's my boy's happy birthday and what I've been thinking about and so on and so forth. So I'm just trying to stay true to how we get things done around here. But yeah, so besides that, guys, there's quite a lot going on in the video game world, in the sports world. And it's getting kind of difficult to pick things to talk about, and maybe that's why I got on here Monday subconsciously, in case I do still want to shoot an episode for Wednesday, because something new is happening. But first, let's start off by talking about what happened with Blake Martinez. Now, if you guys don't know who Blake Martinez is, he was a pretty good football player that played for the Green Bay Packers. He played for the New York Giants. Excuse me. And most recently, he played for the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, Blake, again, I got to do a little deep diver into the whole story and how this came about. But he recently sold a Pokémon card for almost $700,000. Okay? What? $672,000, guys. That is insane at an auction. Martinez, 28, had only joined the Las Vegas Raiders in October, making 4 appearances before announcing his retirement in an Instagram post on November 10th. I have chosen to step away from this career at this time to focus on my family and future passions. Martinez has recently sold the Illustrator. Guys, it looks just like a first-gen trainer card. It's fucking insane. This is why you need to keep good care of your cards, because you don't know what the fuck in 20 years, 25 years, what things are going to be selling for. Pokemon card, which is one of the rarest cards in existence, according to CGC Trading Cards, which is dedicated to grading popular trading cards and sets. CGC Trading Card Vice President Matt Quinn described the card as the holy grail for Pokemon card collecting. Sheesh. In a video shared on the company's Instagram, in an interview with the platform which he sold the card, Goldin, Goldin Auctions, Martinez said that he started collecting Pokemon cards when he was 6 and returned to it during the COVID-19 pandemic. God, guys, I wish I would have just got on board a little sooner. He said he had even set up a business selling the cards, through which he found the Illustrator card. Pokemon card prices soared during the pandemic as celebrities like the YouTuber Logan Paul and DJ Steve Aoki, Aoki, and the rapper Logic all got involved in the craze. In July 2021, Paul paid $5.275 million for another Illustrator card, setting a new Guinness World Record for the most expensive Pokemon cards sold at a private sale. Jeez. This is why you take care of your stuff. This is why it's worth going on Amazon and spending $15, $20 on the harder plastic cases. They don't all need to be those super hard, cases, but you should put your cards in some sort of case. Don't just let your cards that are rare, or you have a feeling that may be rare one day, don't just let them float around. Don't just let them float around. And this is why you keep your common cards and your uncommon cards in some sort of binder sleeved up. This is why you spend a couple dollars on penny sleeves. This is why you spend the time sorting them and putting them in order, because you do not know. And that's the beauty. That was the same thing with the Funko Pops, and I got to do something with the Funkos. I think I need to keep a handful of my favorite ones, my best ones, out, and I think I need to box all the rest up and put them in the attic. It's cool to have, but I can't have them sitting on my wall for 40 years. You know what I'm saying? But again, they are all in cases. They are all going to be in pretty good condition for a very long time, and this is why I love collecting. I love the tedious type of shit like that. Okay, I gotta put each one in a case. I gotta put these in order, this, that, and the third. Because when it comes time to sell and you forget about it, if you have things in order, it's a lot easier to find these things. And just like I did with the Pokemon cards, sorry guys, I still got the nose thing going on from me boohooing. But just like the Pokemon cards, there has to be some sort of app that I need to look into so I can digitally keep track of all the Funko Pops that I have, because I have a lot, guys. I have a ton. And I know some of them, when I bought them, they were worth some money. And I'm sure over the last couple of years, they're still worth some money. And in 20 years, they're going to be worth even more. And that's the thing. I have no desire to get rid of any of my collectible stuff. My Spawn, my Todd McFarlane Kickstarter Spawn original toys upstairs, at the time they were selling for 3, 4, 5 times what I paid for them. I have looked at those figures one time. I slid it out the Spawn thing just so I could look at it, just so I can do a little unpackaging. Maybe I should put that up on my YouTube page as well. But I did a little unpackaging, and besides that, and even that unpackaging, I didn't take it out the packaging. I just showed you the packaging, and it never will come out. And I'll have it forever, and maybe one day I'll be able to sell it for something. That's how I look at it. I don't even look at it as, okay, well, I spent X amount of money, I need to double that amount of money tomorrow. No. If I spent $300 on something, $250, $300 on something, in 10 years, if I could get $400 or $500 for something that I spent $300 on 10 years prior, that's a come up to me. And I don't even want to sell it. That's the thing. But I just like to have things. I like to have collectibles. When I was younger, and you would see how certain people fucking lived, like, what the fuck was it? Was it Fat Cat Books, I think the place was called? It was in downtown Johnson City. It was a card shop, comic book shop. And I used to see all these things. I used to think those were super fucking cool. And when you're 10 years old, you bootleg know how to take care of things. I think every 10-year-old having some sort of a collection is good for them, because you're never going to be able to take care of it like a 30 or a 40-year-old's going to be able to take care of it. But the wheels start turning. The okay, this is how things are supposed to be done, start to get implemented into your life. Okay, these Pokemon cards are cool, but I don't need to fucking have them out playing with them, folding them, throwing them on the fucking table. I don't need to do all that with these. And if I am going to do that with these, they need to be in these sleeves. Last week my dad had he was dropping me off a deep freezer because mine blew. And it blew because I guess we have some sort of thing called low voltage or something out here in the country. So when the power goes out, which it does 3 or 4 times a year for like an hour or two, something happens, someone hits a telephone pole or whatever the case may be out here, there's some electricity still being pumped into your electronics. you know, it's not enough to power them, but there's still electricity being pumped in. So when this happens, a lot of appliances, their motors fail. They give up for whatever reason. I'm not an electrician. I don't know. I'm just telling you what the neighbor told me. But a couple months ago, that happened with my deep freezer. And so my dad was like, you know what, I have an extra one, or I have one that I don't use, you know. I live here by myself. I got this big deep freezer. A normal freezer will work, especially you living out in the country. It's good for you to have one of these. So he brought me up a freezer. I put my old one out next to the road, and within a day somebody scooped it up, so that was nice. But anyway, sorry, getting distracted. He has a bunch of cards that he said he's been collecting for the majority of my life, for one day I can have them. You know, and I don't know what exactly he has, but I definitely want to go through it, and I'm so upset because my whole entire plan was to ask him to bring them up when he was bringing up the freezer, and I knew he wasn't going to remember, and I tried to make it a point, and I absolutely forgot. This is why I need things written down. This is why I need my keys placed in the same spot every day, because I lose shit, I forget shit, and then it's like, fuck, man, my life could just be a little easier if I would have remembered to put this here, or if I would have just wrote this down. But anyway, he said he has a whole bunch of stuff. I know he has some Vince Carter cards from when he was playing at UNC. I know he's got some old mid to early 1990s baseball cards and stuff, and who knows what is worth at this point, you know? Who knows? But I know that I want to get my hands on those cards. I know I want to get my hands on those cards so I can go through them, so I can organize them in a manner that I'm doing things. And again, even if these cards were decently taken care of, I don't know how my dad took care of these cards. I think he was just like old school, put them in the 3-ring binder type of situation. Some of them were in the hard cases. Because I remember when I started collecting Pokemon cards when I was younger, there was this store on Front Street. It was right next to the Harley Davidson shop, and I remember my dad used to buy the cards. He used to buy like the plaques that you could slide the cards in and things like that. So I know some of them cards are taken care of, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing what's in there and you know, adding to my collection. Because I do want to collect other cards, but I see that this could be a slippery slope. You know, I remember I used to collect Digimon cards too, and I would love to start collecting Digimon cards again. But everything costs money, you know? So I don't want to be fucking addicted to Digimon cards and Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I don't want to get into all that, even though I want all the fucking cards. There is something about me sitting at this table and organizing the cards and putting them in penny sleeves and putting them in the hard plastic sleeves and making sure they're in order and da-da-da-da-da. I got my shelf and little card area over there that I'm very excited about. And it's not like a bunch of people see it. It's not like I got fucking 20 friends coming over here and we're going through it. I just personally like it. There's something to it. There is something to it. And I think if you are somebody that has young kids, you get them things that you're not too worried about, you know? You get them things that you're not like, okay, well, if I buy it for them now, in 30 years it'll be worth da-da-da-da-da, but I'm going to let them have it at 8, 9 years old because they're not going to know what to do with it. You know, they're going to treat it like it's a toy. Kids don't remember the toys that they played with, or let me rephrase this. Adults don't remember the toys that they played with when they were 6, 7 years old, that if they would have kept in the original packaging would have been worth $350 today. Kids don't know that type of stuff. So if you're trying to instill taking care of things, collecting things, you get them stuff that you know they're going to mess up, but we're trying to get them on the right path. You know, and I think that's how Pokemon cards were back in the day. Because, again, guys, the world was different back in 97. 98. The world was completely different back then. Back then, it was still basketball cards. You got the rookie Michael Jordan card. Baseball cards. You got the rookie Ken Griffey Jr. card. Stuff like that, you know? There really wasn't... Yeah, I believe there was Magic the Gathering and stuff like that. But still, that was very niche. It was not cool to be a nerd. Or you had to disguise it in, oh, I'm collecting basketball cards, I'm collecting baseball cards, I'm collecting football cards. Yes, guys, I'm sorry to break it to you, but you hardcore sports enthusiasts, you're nerds. You're nerds. So you might as well just come to terms with it, and you like what you like, you know? But sports fans, big nerds. You can't tell me any different. If you love sports, if you're not missing your favorite team's game, if you're not missing the draft, things like that, you're a nerd. Okay? Nothing wrong with it. I'm a huge nerd. This podcast is called The Big Kids Podcast because at heart, I still feel like I'm a kid. I still like to watch anime. I still like to watch cartoons. My parents, my dad doesn't question it when he sees the Amazon, when he sees what's recently been watched on Amazon and it's SpongeBob SquarePants, because at 30 years old, I will still watch some SpongeBob SquarePants. So you are who you are, and I think that starts at a young age. I think that starts when... At least for me, it did start with Pokemon cards. Even though I wasn't taking care of them the way that I was supposed to, I still had my deck of Pokemon cards in a rubber band. Being held together with a rubber band, super tight, fucking up the edges. Did not care. But I had my cards, you know? And that's why I keep thinking about the old Charizard card that I don't know what ever happened to it. And thinking, oh, it could have been worth this, that, and the third. Listen. Any Charizard card I had from when I was 7, 8 years old, I know that's not in good condition, even if I did still have it or was able to locate it today. That card has been ran through, stepped on, bent, all that. I know it has. I know it has. But yeah, guys, again, I think collectibles is something good for everybody, especially kids, because it teaches you how to take care of things. And again, you don't expect a 8-year-old to have a collection that's organized like a 40-year-old, you know? But you expose them to it. You show them, okay, this is what can happen when you take care of things. And that's why I'm a firm believer, if you're a parent, I think you should do your bills with your kids right there. Like, sit down, we're about to do these bills. Because being exposed to certain things in life, that gives you an advantage. If you know how to apply for a loan and pay bills and all that, when you're 21, 22 years old, you already know what you're working towards. You know, it's different than going into this blind. Guys, life is about information. It's really not even about how smart you are. It's not. Yes, I think the top 1-2%, yeah, it matters how smart you are. But for the average person that's going to work and coming home and cooking dinner, it's about the information. Access to information. Knowing how to go about certain things. Knowing how to play the game of life. It doesn't really have to do with you having an IQ of whatever. So I think exposing your kids to what you have to do as an adult at a young age is great. There was kids that knew about the stock market back in middle school, high school. I'm not saying they knew, oh, well, this is a trend to look for and do this and that, but they knew about it. So when Robinhood and all that stuff became accessible, they were already ahead of the game while the rest of us were trying to play catch up. It's about what you're exposed to, which ultimately determines what you know. And what you know, in my opinion, is what you do. Not what you talk about, not what you read. I think that gives you a basic understanding, but to actually do it, put it in action, that's when you really know what the hell's going on. Alright guys, what I did want to talk about something else. A couple other things. I got off on a little tangent because of Cesar's birthday. He housed that bone. Good for you, bud. Good for you. Okay, so yeah, I talked about Blake Martinez. We didn't finish that article. I think we're kind of past that at this point. But yeah, so he retired after selling a card for almost $700,000. And I'm pretty sure, was Blake Martinez a Stanford kid? Yep, Stanford University, so he's smart, you know. he's probably used his, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22. So he's played 6 full seasons, and this would have been his 7th season. I'm sure he's used all that money fucking well. And in all honesty, guys, if you were to be able to, and he's getting a pension. He's played long enough to get a pension, which is what I look for with all these guys when I'm looking over their career stats. I'm like, all right, does he got 3 seasons worth? Yeah, okay, he's getting a pension. He's all right. But anyway, this dude did his money right. That's why he could just step away from the game. He's not worried about it. I'm sure however much money he was making, let's say on average he made $1.5 million a year. Taxes, gotta break off the lawyers and shit. Okay, you're walking away with $750,000, something like that. I'm sure he was not living like he was making $750,000. I'm sure he was living comfortably, but I'm sure every single year there was a surplus. There wasn't, oh shit, this year we actually lived like we made $3 million. What are we gonna do? You know, in my line of work, I see that people live off of much less. Some of them are happy, some of them aren't happy. But the ones that are happy and like enjoying life and thankful for being able to breathe air, those are the ones that showed me, yo, dude, you don't need to make $1 million a year to be happy. You don't got to try to keep up with the Joneses to be happy. You know, make sure your bills are paid, make sure there's food on the table, go on a little adventure every once in a while when you've saved up some money. But life could be a lot simpler. You don't gotta try to go buy this and do that to make yourself feel better. Yo, just sit and think about it for a minute. People got it worse. You know, and Blake Martinez, again, I am very sure that this man has made enough money in the NFL to feel very comfortable walking away. And that's even, what the hell was it, dude? He was a San Francisco, was it Chris Borland? The dude was like first or second, or he did win the Defensive Rookie of the Year award from one publication, and then retired after his rookie year. That dude took his $300,000 and was like, I'm good. This is all I needed. That's all I needed. Now that is not a greedy individual. And that honestly transitions to the next topic that I want to talk about, which is Deion Sanders. Now, Deion Sanders was pro HBCU. He felt insulted when the other coach said that he wasn't HBCU. And listen, guys, I didn't go to HBCU, but I do have an understanding that when you go to places like that, it's not about the money. You know, because you're not going to get paid a lot. Whether it's right, it's wrong, you're not going to be a multi-millionaire coaching at a HBCU. Unless you made some good investments and so on and so forth. But your salary from that college is not going to be through the roof like that. Now, when Deion Sanders took the job at Jackson State, he made it clear that it wasn't about the money. You know, it was about helping. That all sounds good. You're an NFL Hall of Famer. One of the, I'll say, top 5 corners of all time. You're definitely the number 1 personality at corner all time. And with that being said, you were going to be able to get the 2 stars, the 3 stars, the 4 stars that typically, not even typically, that don't, even if their parents went to those schools themselves, are not going to go to HBCUs. But because Deion Sanders was there, he was able to bring in those talents. Sorry, phone ringing. So he was able to bring in those talents. That was great. But I said it from Jump Street. And I'm pretty sure you could go back. I don't know the number episode, but I've talked about Deion Sanders on this podcast before. At no point did I believe that it had nothing to do with the money. At no point did I ever believe that. I knew better than that. I knew the only reason that kids were going there, it wasn't just because Deion Sanders was coaching there. No, it made it a lot easier to go to a HBCU in today's day and age of social media, and especially since these kids can get paid now. You know, I think it's a lot easier to go to a school that's not Alabama when you could still cut a $300,000 check with X, Y, Z person because you were the number 15 kid in the country, or you were the number 1 or 2 kid in the country. You could still cut those deals. So when Deion Sanders took the job at Colorado this past couple days, I had problems with it. And my main problem, and the one that I'm calling bullshit on, is that you said it's not about the money. Dude, stop it. Stop it. Of course it's about the money. It's always been about the money. Now, if you would have just kept it real, I would have had no problem. Keep it fucking... I don't understand why people don't keep it real about their motives when it comes to taking certain jobs and opportunities. It's about the fucking money. Listen, yes, I'm sure there are nurses and doctors, more so nurses out there that want to help people. But you're not there solely because you want to help people. You're there because the pay is what you want it to be. Okay? Now, Deion going to Jackson State, that pay was never going to be what Deion wanted it to be. They could go undefeated 6 times in a row. That pay is never going to be what Deion wanted it to be. So to say this isn't about the pay, I think that sounds correct initially, because we know you're not getting paid nothing. But I also think that there is some chess being played in the background. Okay, if I go to this HBCU and I deliver, these big time schools are going to come calling. These big time schools are going to offer me a huge check, which again, I think is fine. But stop trying to act like your motives weren't your motives. And when people get on TV and say, well, he made millions of dollars broadcasting, he doesn't need this money. Guys, we all see on a day-to-day, on an hour-to-hour, on a week-to-week basis that it does not matter how much money a person has, somebody always wants more. That's how majority of people are. Majority of people are not just like, you know what, I got enough. I got enough. I'm cool. I don't need to do this. Because if that was the case, he would have stayed at Jackson State till the end of time, until he was no longer coaching. But he decided, guys, he didn't take a job at USC. He didn't take a job at Oregon. He didn't take a job at his school, at his college, Florida State, somewhere like Clemson, Michigan. He didn't take any of these jobs that would be looked at as great opportunities. He took a job where the team was 1-11 last year. He took a job where, again, off the top of my head, in the past 20 years, Colorado has had 2 or 3, and I think it's 2 double-digit win seasons. And to think that Deion Sanders is just going to take what he did at Jackson State, where he was competing on his team with talent that was way better than the rest of the leagues. That's why he was so successful. To think that he's going to go to Jackson State and be undefeated next year, to think that he's going to go to to Colorado, be undefeated next year, or he's going to go to Colorado and they're going to be a 10-win team next year, I think that's pretty far-fetched. To think that this man isn't probably going to be fired within the next 2 to 3 years, that's probably a little closer to reality. It doesn't matter if you got a couple 3 or 4 star dudes on your team. You're playing in the Pac-12. So does everybody else. And then you're coming across teams like Utah who have 25-year-old dudes on the team because they're Mormon and they go on the missions and they come back. Dude, you're in the Pac-12 now. The competition is going to be a lot steeper. Now, do I think that his personality will attract a lot of recruits and this? That does not matter, guys. You could go through the past 15, 20 years, look at the top 100 list for high school recruits, and I guarantee you there's going to be plenty of people on that list that you have no idea who they are because they didn't pan out the way that everybody thought that they were going to pan out. So you're playing against that as well. So again, my only beef with any of these athletes that try to act like they're doing what they're doing for anything but the money in circumstances that fit them well, guys, just keep it real. Keep it real. Who cares? Who the fuck cares? Everyone's mad at Lamar Jackson because he should have just taken this and now he's hurt. And guys, first of all, everyone was concerned about Lamar Jackson getting hurt running the ball. He got jacked up in the pocket yesterday. I digress. But when he says, nah, you guys are going to pay me what this market says that I'm worth. And you're like, nah, well, he should just take this because that's best for the team. And that, listen, guys, nobody cares about that. I am sorry. That is a myth. There are very few people in this life that are not going to take what they can make. What the tippy top amount? Oh, wait, he got paid what? Oh, I should be getting paid. There are very few people. And me personally, I think it's refreshing when somebody just keeps it real. No, I can make X amount of money. That's what I'm going to get. That's what I'm going to get. Yeah, I'm sorry that you don't agree with it. I'm sorry that the Saudis are going to be paying me what you guys could be paying me but don't want to. I'm going to go over here and play. And don't try to act like when I make that move that's best for me and my family financially that I'm a bad person. But just keep it real. That's it. Yo, listen, you guys are offering me $25 million. They're offering me double. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? And again, to some people, that $25 million might be enough. Especially if the morals line up more with what you believe in. That makes sense. But some people are like, nah, fuck that. I don't care. I need that bread. And that's how most people are. And that's why I think you should just be real about it. Dion, it's an opportunity. It's not about the money. It's an opportunity. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it, Dion. Stop it, Dion. Stop it, Dion. Listen, you could look at Deion Sanders' career. Everything about Deion Sanders' career is about him making that bag. Again, fine. It's a business. It's a game. You got to play the game. Deion Sanders, for many years of his NFL career, was a mercenary, signing 1-2 year deals to go play here to shore their defense up so they can win a Super Bowl. Go do this to shore up they can win a Super Bowl. That's what he did. And that is fine, especially when it comes to a game. But stop trying to act like you're some savior. You're here for the people. Stop it, Deion. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I get that's what you gotta say. I get you can't go out there and act like a selfish prick. But to willingly say it's not about the money, it's about the opportunity. I smell bullshit however far Colorado is from where I'm at right now. I can smell it all the way over here. So guys, just keep it real. It's about the bag. That's okay. I won't hold it against you, especially if you admit it. But Dion, you're full of shit, man. Alright, guys. A little bit of a roller coaster episode. You got to hear me fucking cry about my dog. But again, like I said, that's my ace, man. He taught me how to be an adult. He taught me about responsibility and taking care of somebody that's not yourself. And I will forever be indebted to him for that. And I'm just happy that he got another birthday. I'm happy we got another one in the books. I'm hoping to get a couple more. I'm hoping that you enjoyed that bone over there. It's nap time. I do have I'm trying some CBD oil with him. He's getting older. I'm sure the joints and stuff aren't feeling like they used to, so I'm just trying to hook him up a little bit. I ordered some CBD oil off of Amazon for dogs. That should be here in the next couple of days. We'll try that, and hopefully he can live a great rest of his life and give me some couple more great memories, and and teach these pups. That's what's most important. Teach these pups. Teach them the way. And he's doing a great job as a big brother, an uncle, a father figure, whatever their relationship is in dog terms. He's done a great job at it. I'm thankful for him, and I'm thankful for you guys for tuning in and listening. And don't forget to comment and subscribe to get some entries into the Pokemon V box giveaway. And with that said, guys, I'll catch you next time. Be safe, be easy. Be easy. Be easy. Be safe, be easy, and wash your ass. I'm out of here. Peace.